One of the most intimidating experiences for all new police officers doesn't happen on the streets. It actually happens in a courtroom. Testifying in a court proceeding for a deposition or a trial or any type of hearing can be extremely intimidating for anybody, including new police officers. Honestly, it took me years to feel comfortable testifying, and even today, although I'm good at masking my nervousness, I still get nervous at the start of every trial. In this video, I'm going to share 4 tips to help new police officers prepare for testifying in court. Even if you're not in law enforcement, if you're a civilian who has a trial coming up or a court hearing coming up and you've never experienced this before, watch this video. It'll definitely help you out. Now, if you stay with me to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus tip that can help save your ass in court. Not too long ago, I spoke to a bailiff. Now, these guys, they have great insight on what goes on in a courtroom because they watch testimony day in and day out. So I wanted to lean on this guy's experience, and I asked him, I said, what is the biggest flaw you see with officers testifying? He said, preparation. He said, too many times officers come to trial or a hearing and they're not prepared. This makes all the sense in the world. As a police officer, you're coming into the courtroom testifying about a case that happened months ago, maybe even years ago. And since that case, you've had hundreds, if not thousands of other interactions with other people. Also, you've already probably made another 100 arrests at a minimum. You simply can't remember everything you've done on that case 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. In fact, I recently testified on a bank robbery trial that took place 5 years ago. It's impossible for a human brain to remember every aspect of that case. I couldn't do it. And defense attorneys know it, and they will capitalize on it. The best way to combat not remembering things is by preparing. Trust me, the attorneys are preparing for this case. Before they walk into a courtroom, they've spent hours upon days upon weeks, maybe even months preparing for this trial. If you walk in there and you read your report 5 minutes before it's time to testify, you will absolutely lose that battle every time. So what can you do? Prepare. Make sure you're familiar with the report. If there's a body camera footage, watch the body camera footage. And not 5 minutes before trial. Start working on this a few days before it's time to testify. You should know every aspect and every detail of everything that you did prior to going up there and testifying, because if you don't prepare, I promise you, the defense attorneys did. Studies show that people make a decision on others within a tenth of a second. That's because your first impression, it's not verbal, it's visual. Now, don't get it wrong. A jury's going to watch your visual demeanor. They're going to listen to your words, and they're going to make a judgment based off of how you carry yourself and the things that you say. Remember this, not all jurors like police officers. Now, we all know that a jury is supposed to be fair and impartial, and of course, they're supposed to make decisions based off of the facts of the case. So if this is the case, what does your demeanor have to do with anything? Well, juries are made up of human beings, and humans have human emotion, and humans are flawed. And no matter how hard a jury tries to remain impartial based on the evidence, they will absolutely allow their personal feelings to get involved. There are very few people on this planet that can make strict black and white decisions without allowing their personal feelings to come into play. So remember, be careful how you carry yourself, be professional, articulate your words properly, and don't get into a back and forth argument with the attorneys. The defense attorney will try to bait you into this. Don't fall for that shit. Watch your demeanor. Also, one little tidbit, when you answer the state or the defense attorneys, don't forget to look at the jury. Look them in the eye and talk to them as well. Include them in your conversation. You're going to be asked questions you don't remember. A fear shared by most witnesses at trial, especially police officers, is looking incompetent because you can't remember something. I said this earlier, as humans, our memories are flawed. There's not a human being on the planet that can remember details of things that happened years ago, and that's okay. The trap we fall into is guessing. Rather than saying, I don't remember, and dealing with the fear of looking incompetent, some witnesses guess. Here's the problem. I can assure you, if the question is being asked by the defense, they don't have to guess. They already know. And if you guess and you answer incorrectly or you get it wrong, you're going to give the appearance that you're being deceptive. Trust me, the defense will absolutely capitalize on that. And from that moment forward, everything you say can't be trusted. Remember, your job is to testify honestly and accurately. If you don't remember, simply say you don't remember. One of the things that I had to work on was keeping my mouth shut. I'm extroverted. I like to talk, and I like to debate. I realized I was making the mistake when I was having a very jovial conversation with a defense attorney outside of the court arena. Believe it or not, cops and defense attorneys can be friendly and jovial, as long as you both recognize that this is just business and they have a job to do, and so do you. And so in conversation, a defense attorney I've known for a very long time said to me, "I love questioning you because you love to talk." It hit me right then and there that I talk too much. And talking too much from my side is not a good thing. I'm giving them ammunition. I'm giving them too much information. I learned at that pivotal moment to shut my mouth during testimony, meaning just answer the question. And believe me, I still struggle with this. Stop trying to elaborate. Stop trying to explain yourself. Just answer the question. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, there are times a defense attorney will ask you a very simple question, and your truthful response might make you look like you've done sloppy police work or it goes against the truth of the case. And in my past, I would feel the need to explain myself because some questions can't be answered with a simple yes or no. There has to be an explanation. We all know this, but sometimes they're baiting you. And trust me, the courtroom is their wheelhouse. It's their home turf. They know what they're doing. I don't care how smart you think you are. They're better at it than you are. It's their job. If the state's doing their job, upon redirect, they will address anything that needs to be explained or elaborated. If they don't, it really wasn't that important. So when you're asked a question, simply answer the question and stop giving them more information. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I would give you a bonus tip that may save your ass in court. Here it is. Sometimes a defense attorney will try to bait you into an argument. Don't fall for this trap. Again, this is their wheelhouse. They know exactly what they're doing, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to win that argument. Sure, there are times where they may bait you into an argument and you'll come out the victor, but it's never a good look. Trust me, I've fallen for this. Arguing with the defense attorney on the stand, even if you're right, it's never a good look. In my opinion, if you maintain a neutral position, let the defense attorney look like an asshole. The jury will see that. My point is, don't take this shit personal. Remember what your job is. Your job is to make good, solid arrests with good probable cause and put a good case together. That's it. Your job as a cop is not to try the case in court. Your job is not to be the judge or the jury. Your job is simply just to put a case together and bring it forward. Then, in court, your job is simply to testify to what happened. Try your best not to take that case personal. Now, I understand that sometimes we're dealing with very, very bad people, right? Child molesters, rapists, murderers, right? And we want to see justice because that's why we signed up. And it's hard not to take it personal sometimes. But allow justice to play out. Let the state do their job in prosecuting. You do your job in bringing forth the best case you can. That's it. Once you start to take things personal at trial, you put yourself in a vulnerable position with the defense and the jury, and it's easier for them to paint you in a negative light.